Hello, chat. How are you all? Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, Sloth. Hi, Panzer. Hi, Sun. Hi, Taylor and Rinji. Hello, dear brother. Hello, everybody. I hope you all had a great weekend. We're finally back for a long awaited hand cam stream. Finally got it, because I use Droid Cam, so I can use my actual phone as a cam. Other than the one that uses my facial tracking, but at least for the one that I can use the old hand cam for, I got it updated because I use something called Droid Cam, and it was out of date, so I had to deal with that. But it's up to date. But I kind of wanted today do something a little different that we haven't done in quite a bit. I wanted to do some like figure unboxing today because I have a couple. Tax fraud. Shh, we're not supposed to say that out loud. Unboxing good. Yeah. We'll stick to that. We're not gonna do tax fraud. But yeah, I've got a couple of figures I wanted to unbox, and I figure it would be a good excuse. Let's do crimes. Crime time. But yeah, I have a couple of figures I've been like that I got from my birthday that have just been kind of like sitting there because I figure a good excuse to actually like get them out of their boxes and have me, shelve them would actually be doing a hand cam stream. Because I'm like, hey, let's look at pretty boy figurines on stream, since we appreciate the pretty boys. Um, so I thought I would do that. I thought it would be a fun little thing to do because I think the last time we did, I think when I got my Amnesia Nendoroid, I think I did on stream. I had just that one. So yeah, I think we did that on stream, and I think that's the last time I did like an unboxing. So yes. Yeah. One of the figurines is going to be something that's a little near and dear to us. It's not a sword boy. It's not a sword boy, shocking. But something a little bit more relatable to stream. And those swords have been relatable to stream too. But that's something a little different. But it's something that I'm like, Mara better get his ass in here, that sort of thing. But anyways, we're gonna schmoof. Schmoof on over because we are here. We've got the fingies. We haven't done the fingies in a while. Also, I will probably do some crochet afterwards. We shall see. It's not going to take like the full 3 hours to do this, but we sometimes get a little sidetracked. Sometimes we get a little sidetracked. So we're going to try not to. Yes. So anyways, I'm gonna get sidetracked. Never. I'm gonna get my X-Acto blades so we can very carefully remove said stickers, tape, the usual fun stuff. That's always kind of a bitch to deal with. Anyways, first figurine. Yeah, so I got a couple things for my birthday. one of them I didn't like kind of expect to buy, but because I haven't really, well, I used to have some figurines originally and then I sold them, was from Black Butler. And but then I saw this Sebastian figurine, our one hell of a butler. So I kind of needed him because he's like in his teacher outfit, and I'm like, God damn it. I need this figure. I need him. I just, yes, the box is a little crushed. It was like the only one left, so it's a little dinged up, but that's okay. It's like one of the like kind of cheaper ones. And Keely down for teachers noted. Sometimes, not all the time, not all the time, not all the time. I think it's the glasses. It's the hair and the glasses, you know. Remember, chat, be very, very careful when handling a X-Acto knife. They're very, very sharp. No slicing the figures. This is the part I always kind of hate, because you have to be kind of careful because you don't want to rip the box. There we go. I think I'm going to turn on like different music. We're going to listen to different music. There we go. Get him out of here. Put him there for now. Actually, move that. Okay. Do they tape the sides? Yes, they did. It's always the annoying part, figuring out if they tape the sides or not. Okay, that's free. That's free. Freedom. Okay, so this is his stand. I kind of put the tape in an awkward angle, so give me a second. There we go. All right, we've got the nice base. Put it there for now. I like to be a little particular about putting things away. And he's actually a pretty decent sized figure. I think he looks better than he does on the box. Yeah, I think he does look better than he does on the box. He's got those snazzy heels. No, these are actually the pegs, but they kind of look like heels. Question is, which way do we do this? This way? Can we do it this way? Nope. Okay. Larger peg. This way? Yeah. Trying to be careful about this. Because sometimes these pegs can be a little tricky and I don't want to break him. I think it's going in now. There we go. I actually had a figurine one time. The base peg broke. I'm pretty sure it was from an earthquake. Because it was perfectly fine, and then I went to pack it when we were moving, and I was like, oh, his foot peg is broken. It wasn't a nice find, I will tell you that. I was rather pissed. Okay. In general, because these are like the ones that they go in like the UFO crane games. So it's a little bit of a cheaper figurine, but for like $25, I think this is a pretty good one. Yeah. I think it's like even like the shoes are pretty nice and shiny. It is an official Japanese figure. These are like the ones that just they're generally like prize ones. They usually go into like the arcade games, but they will offer them for sale too for generally like they can range from like $25 to like $30. I have like one that I think was like 1,500 yen when it came out. So yeah, they all range in price, but they're pretty good. But I think they don't go like completely crazy on details, but they do enough that I think they're pretty solid. Especially with the current cost of like anime figurines. This day and age. Which way does this go? They're definitely getting up there. The prices are kind of soaring, and it sucks. Because there is like a lot of figures that I want, and I'm just like, oh no. Even like Nendoroids are getting ridiculously expensive. trying to figure if this is going the right way. Yeah. Now to reassemble the box. That's always the fun part. But yeah, this is gonna go into one of my cases. I think I've posted a picture of my setup. Well, I did the Give the Room tour a while back in March. A little bit of a room tour, as best as I could. We did that. But I think he's gonna go either into the tall case or the one that sits up on my desk. Okay, this is the tricky part. How am I gonna get this ball back in here? Assembled. This is gonna be what the stream is. Me struggling to put boxes back together. Welcome to my stream. Watch me struggle. Watch me struggle. There we go. I think that's right. That looks right. Pretty sure it's right. End of stream. Somehow you are in a box. That's what it's gonna come down to. Hold on. But yeah, I would say pretty solid figurine. Look, I'm gonna message Mara. Okay. I wanted to inform Mara of which figure I am unboxing next. Okay, so we're gonna put Sebastian over here. Can I get him on cam? I know there's some people can appreciate Sebastian. Hee-ho! Hi, Moa. No, we'll just have him here. I'm doing good. We're just unboxing a couple of figurines. Okay, let me reach up here. Reason why I messaged Mara, because I said, so one of my birthday gifts, one of the birthday gifts I got, was from one of my friends. She went on my throne and got me the Nahobino figurine for SMT5. This is actually like my first any Shin Megami Tensei merchandise. So I'm kind of excited because I actually have Persona merchandise, but it's kind of hard to get some like SMT merch because Persona just kind of rolled over everything. You know, within reason. So like there's like a Demi Fiend figurine that I want to get too. But he's kind of expensive. But yeah, my friend got me the Nahobino figure, which I'm very, very excited to have in my collection. Because look at him. Look at him. So I figured I wanted to wait and unbox him on stream. And then I figured, well, Mara should be here for this. So we're going to very carefully cut the tape. We're very surgically going over this surgically, and hold on one second. Oh, I see how they're doing this. This I think I do. There we go. Okay. I had to figure out how they tape this. I really should get a Beano of my own. You should. We need a figure of the Jack Frost version. I still think that they kind of dropped the ball on not calling him Naho-Hiho. Exactly. It should have been Naho-Hiho. Whoever came with that naming needs to be fired. Or at least reprimanded with that name. Okay, we got the instructions. Shows you how his sword is installed. The sword goes here. I think we can follow that. I have another figure where the character has a hat in his hand, and it came with instructions on how to install his hat. So very carefully. Oops, sorry. Just moving this back up here. Okay, looking for those pesky tape edges. Did I get it? Nope. There we go. Is there tape right here? There is. There is. Okay. The tape is usually the worst for me. Okay, I think we can free him. Yeah, it's trying to pop the thing. The shell's usually the most annoying part. Yeah. That's like my issue with some Nendoroids, because the parts are so tiny sometimes. And then sometimes they're not molded correctly, that they end up not fitting into the parts they need to fit into. Okay, we got his stand. This is the part that kind of worries me, is like, I hope the blade goes in easily. I'm going to take the blade out first. Blade, please. Okay, looking at it, it looks like it just slips over the fingers, and there's like this little peg right here. So I think we should be okay. I think the production value of this figure alone is just the hair. Look at all the hair. The hair is crazy. They even got like this shiny metallic. His like ice skates. Ice skating through the sand. We're just gonna gently put him here for now. Very carefully. While I move the shell over here. He can hang out there for a moment. Okay. So I'm assuming it goes, yep. So it goes like that. So we're going to do this very carefully. Seems pretty solid. Fairly solid. At least that's what I'm hoping. Okay. Alright, so these two pegs go here. The thicker one goes there. Okay, one side is in. All right, he's in the stand. Trying to bring him in. Trying to get good angle. There we go. Got. Got all the hair. The sword actually went in pretty easily. It doesn't seem to be standing wonky. I'd say thank you. Hi, Kohan. But yeah, I'd say pretty solid. I've dealt with some like worse figures that are a big pain in the ass to get into their stand, but yeah, this one seemed to be no problem. No problem. Now I just gotta get them in the display case. So yeah. So we got Sebastian. Sebastian's looking good. And we got Nahobino. I really do like the details on his hair. The boy. The boy. So yeah. Okay, now I gotta get this shell back together. So give me a moment. Get the shell back together. Then I can put it in storage later. I wonder if they have one for his Wrathful Tempest pose. That would be cool. This is like the only figure that I've found like so far. I hope that they, you know, possibly might make more. I mean, I would think especially with that like other form of his in Vengeance. I don't know. We'll see. I would also like I was saying, I'd like a Jack Frost version. I'd also like a Nendoroid. Can we get some like Nahobino and Demi-Fiend Nendoroids? Atlas, good smile. Please. You make Persona ones. One second. I'm putting this shell back in the box. Give me a second. As I lose sync for a moment. There we go. That was relatively painless. No spoilers, yes. No spoilers. It's hard to mention spoilers when that form was like literally in the ad, so oh shoot, the instructions, hold on. That form was literally like in all the ads, so it's not exactly spoiler safe, you know? Yeah, I prefer the OG as well. I think there is a mod, I might download the mod, where it has the outfit, but then they still give him his original form hair, so he has, like, flowing silver locks instead. I don't know yet. We have to get back into playing. We might jump back into it, after I finish Chrono Trigger. Also, I was waiting for, well, you saw the art. You saw that scab that I commissioned. I was waiting for that to come back. Hi, Dr. Dreads. I'm going to assume ye. How are you doing, Dr. Dreads? Before we continue on, do you want to see figurines, Dr. Dreads? Would you like to see some figurines? Okay, so we were unboxing Sebastian Michaels from A Black Butler. this one that I just got the other day, or not the other day, for my birthday. In his like tutor teacher attire. It's like one of the like cheaper figurines that I was mentioning, but it's pretty solid. It is very solid. And then my friend for my birthday got me the Nahalbino figure from SMT5 for my birthday. I was very, very excited for this one for certain, because he's got all his pretty hair, his blade, his stiletto ice skate heels, and like great, really great paint job on the face. So yeah. Okay. I just realized I have them in the space where I put all my yarn and stuff. I need a moment. I didn't really think this through. Because now I just think I'll just move the boxes. I'm gonna say it's odd that he has skates, but I've seen sillier shoes. Yeah, it is. It's an interesting design choice. That is for certain. Sorry, I am standing up. I'm gonna put the figures on. I have a shelf up above my desk, so I'm putting them. Oop. There we go. Almost destroying his hair. I just wanted to move the boxes. Okay, one of these pieces of hair kind of scares me. Because it's like kind of flexy. Okay. Chocobo. Ah! Thank you. Thank you. Sorry if I'm getting out of focus here. I'm just trying to get my stuff for crocheting. I swear I thought this through. There we go. I love the single tooth ghetto, but that shit is high heels on impossible difficulty. I've seen people walk in them. I remember running into this person, they were cosplaying, ironically, one of my favorite swords, from Sword Boys. And that particular character actually does wear the single tooth, geta. And, she definitely was in for the long haul. It's pretty much, hi Chaco! It's a lot of balancing practice, that's for sure. It requires a lot of balancing. Okay, I think last we finished... We haven't worked on this in a while, so I'm like, what did we last do with this? And you know I have a cat when we just randomly find a cat hair. Okay, so I guess last time I was working on this, I might need to grab more yellow yarn, but I'll use what I have right now, and then I'll grab some more. But yeah, onto the mention of that cosplayer. I could tell it was a little bit of a struggle. But I mean, she was managing, but I definitely didn't see her wearing that cosplay the next day. Um, Probably for obvious reasons, but also if I was her, I probably would have um maybe carried them um like in a bag or something for photo shoots, and then just like walk around in like regular flip-flops. Um like I've seen some people. There's a character in Azure Lane I was interested in the cosplay of, but literally couldn't find the getup tall enough. Oh, yeah. Some people like they'll kind of fudge it. I mean, I know that there's some people who just like, no, I need to be, you know, down to the exact detail. I get it. I can be a little bit of a perfectionist sometimes myself, but there's sometimes you just got to tell yourself, you know, uh maybe it's not worth it. Maybe, especially when it comes to your own like comfort, sometimes you just gotta go, it's not worth me being like uncomfortable just to be like 100% exact. So sometimes you just gotta fudge it and, see how it see what you can do that it works around your own comfort levels. Like, um, my friend and I, we were supposed to do a couple of cosplays where, basically, like, they both wear some like stiletto heels. Um, and I was, probably would commit to the heels for maybe like an hour, and then probably get to the point where like, nope, I gotta take these off and wear some like regular boots because they're like booted heels that they wear. Um, and I know that's like that's what some people do as well, where they'll just like carry the shoes with them just to like have them for photo shoots, and then walk around in comfortable shoes the rest of the time, which I think is the best way to do it, because it's not worth your like discomfort. Like, even the people that like perform like the stage variations generally will not wear things like, if a character's wearing high heels or something, they generally won't wear them because it's too risky. And not to mention, if the type of show that they're performing, got to keep these Panzer. You're reckless. You're also young. As far as I know, you're pretty young, so you have a while that you can be reckless. True. If I try to do it, I'm going to be in the hospital. I will be in the hospital, and then everybody's going to be like, what happened to Keely? You can still go skiing and flop around in the snow, yes. You're tempted to just go ahead and get this one figure. Yeah, you should. Do it. Yo! Okay, real talk. Morgan's the reason where I was just like, when I first started like questioning my sexuality as a kid. I played Darkstalkers in the arcade. I'm like, woman pretty. Woman pretty. So yeah, needless to say, she's always been my main. Morgan was also like one of my very first cosplays. I will be perfectly honest. She was one of my very first cosplays. Yours was tuxedo mask, nice. Did you run out and do absolutely nothing and then go, my job here is done? Now, question, Panzer. Were you the Japanese tuxedo mask or the Darien tuxedo mask? You gotta love if you were somebody who grew up in the like the mid 90s and saw the original like Saban Sailor Moon. It was a time. It was such a time. I just realized I should probably change my category. Hold on a moment. I forgot to do that. We are no longer just chatting. Hope we get a photo. I don't like working in small magic rings, but they're always kind of a struggle for me. Tiny space. I just also realized this is the first hand cam we've done since my 2.0 debut. Kind of nervous. First hand cam. Check TMs. Okay, 1 second. Check. That is a giant rose. But very nicely done. What convention was that? Ironically, that was the last fanime I ever went to. So you might have saw me and never knew it was me. No, because it was like too much of a drive at the time. We also that particular fanime was we had an incident. Not with me, thankfully, but we had an incident in our hotel room. Good old con stories. Okay, so I've told this story before actually, but I will tell it again. So hold on 1 second. This is going up for now. I will leave it up for 20 minutes. Okay, so so the last time I went to FanimeCon was at 2002, the particular one that Panzer was talking about. I went to Fanime with Mako and 4 other people. We were all sharing a hotel room at Fanime. It was a group of 6 of us. And so it was already pretty like crowded in general, just to have like 6 people. There's like I think like the only time I think it was the last time I've ever done like a convention where we had like a bunch of people in one hotel room. I think because of this like whole reason. So it was Mako, a couple of friends that were sisters. We'll name the sisters Heidi and Melanie. We'll name the sisters Heidi and Melody. Hi, Rem. And then there was our friend Megan and Steve. So, look. Thank you. So, they were all in this one room with us at Fanime. And Melanie, I think that's what I called her. Melanie decided to befriend this guy at the convention. Yay, that's fine. She decided to befriend this guy. They were getting, as you do, they kind of were having a thing for each other at the convention. And, it's, you're young, that sort of thing, we really didn't think much of it. And then this was like Saturday night, and Mako and I like went back to our. Yes, I'm sorry, it got nerfed. I nerfed it. The one that you can use all the time is heavy machine gun, though. That can be spammed. Anyways. Where was I going with this? So Saturday night, Mako and I decided to head back to the hotel room just to kind of like get out of cosplay, kind of relax a bit. I think because we were going to go get some dinner. And we get to we get back to the room, and we notice that the bathroom door is closed and locked. And the lights aren't on. So few suspicious things there. It's quiet. Bathroom door is locked. And lights are off. And we're like, okay, what's going on? So Mako politely like knocks on the door and just goes, "Hey, is anybody in there?" And we hear Melanie go, "Oh, yeah, I'm just taking a bath right now." And we're like, "Okay, that's fine." So Mako and I are just kind of chatting for a bit in the room, and then some other people that were rooming with us come in, and they start doing their thing, just kind of relaxing, getting out of cosplay, just having that relaxing moment before they were gonna do whatever, like karaoke or go to the rave, that sort of thing. And so the room's getting like crowded, and then I get a knock on the door, and it's my friend. I'm gonna call him John. My friend John is at the door. So I'm sitting there, we're just chatting, and then all of a sudden I hear, and I'm like, what the frick is going on? The bathroom door bursts open, and Melanie and then that guy suddenly burst out of the bathroom and rushed past me. They rushed past me and John and just take off down the hallway. And everybody in the room is just like, what the fuck just happened? What just happened? And like, we didn't see her or that guy. Well, the guy wasn't even staying with us, but we don't see Melanie the rest of the night. Like, she just vanished with him for like even like we had no idea where she went. Like, even like Mako and I, like later on, we were went to go do our thing in like the convention hall, like mingling, going to the rave, getting dinner, that sort of thing. Did not see her or that guy for the rest of the night. So there was that. So they were doing some stuff in the bath. She was taking a bath, all right, and apparently she was doing stuff with that guy. No shame in that, but like that was just like, okay, so people were doing things. Place to get clean, yeah, apparently. So she got caught. But that's not where the story ends. That's not where the story ends at all. So after we kind of just sanitary. Oh, this is, yeah. So after we're like extremely confused of what just happened, some of the other people leave, and it's just Mako and I and our friend Megan. And we're just chatting about, I don't remember what we were talking about. And other than just like the pure shock of just like what happened, we just kind of let it be, and we continue with our conversation. And then Megan, all of a sudden, this is why I had to put a trigger warning. Megan disappears into the bathroom, and all of a sudden we heard her start crying. She's like, "Oh my god, my towel! What happened to my towel?" And we're like, "What's going on?" And she comes out, and she's got a washcloth, like a white washcloth, and it is soaked in blood. It is completely red. It was no longer a white washcloth. She had decided to, because hotel room towels can be a little, not the softest, depending on like what hotel you go to. She brought her own towels from home, and she finds her own towel is now completely covered in blood. And the timing of this blood covered towel, don't you diss my towels. This was her. I said depends on the hotel. But that was her reasoning. But her towel was just, it was no longer a white towel. It was now a red towel. This is why I have to have the trigger warning. So we're trying to figure out, because the timing of the bathroom incident and this sudden reveal of this bloody towel, now made things even more strange. We're just like, did that guy go there? Is somebody having their period? That sort of thing. Like, why is there this bloody towel? And yeah. So, and of course my friend is upset because she just lost, like, something from her house, and we're just like, obviously, like, yeah, don't take that home. Trash it. You're using the bathtub to recreate the parting of the Red Seas. Apparently, but that's not what actually happened. So, Melanie didn't return to the room until like 6 a.m. Like around 6 a.m. I woke up to the sound of like the hotel room door opening, and her like crawling into bed and then falling asleep. It was like that. Like, she never returned for the rest of the night, probably because she was kind of embarrassed. It was something. It was definitely something. But that's also not where it ends. So eventually we figured out why this towel was red. So the next morning, we get up, and Steve, the other guy that was in the room, he gets up out of his, like, he was like sleeping on the floor because like there was only 2 beds. So we had people, as you do at anime conventions, you have people sleeping on the floor, bathtubs, couches, whatever you can muster in hotel rooms. He was sleeping on the floor, and as he gets up, we notice he was wearing a white t-shirt, and it too was no longer white. It was purely red with blood. And Mako kind of like looks at his shirt in shock and goes, "Hey man, what happened?" And Steve is just like, "Oh yeah, so yesterday I woke up with a bloody nose." So Steve, in his morning delirium that morning, this is like we've started putting like the puzzle pieces together. In his morning delirium, had a bloody nose, and I think accidentally grabbed Megan's towel to, you know, kind of staunch it off. And unfortunately it cost Megan her towel. But the mystery of why there was a bloody towel, along with said friends getting freaky in the bathroom, kind of correlated with each other at the time. At the time, yeah, it's so much better than it could have been. But we didn't know at the time. We just thought people were, you know, just getting freaky in the bathroom or something. Turns out, it was all caused by somebody having a bloody nose and accidentally grabbing someone else's towel instead of the hotel rooms. I can't necessarily like blame him, because I think in that case, this is just like my personal thought. If you're going to go to a hotel, um, damn, someone fucked a vampire in here. It's probably not like the wisest idea, because most hotels tend to use like white towels because they're easy to like bleach. I think it's in your best bet probably not bring a white towel to the hotel. If you don't like hotel towels, don't do that. Cons allow you to speculate a lot more than one usually does. Exactly. Exactly. Especially like when you got things going on, like you're either, you know, sleep deprived because you're up all night partying. Take into account that you're either drinking a bunch of energy drinks to stay awake, or the nights that you're partying, you're getting a little inebriated. You're not exactly in your best, like, you know, wakefulness. You're a bit delirious. Not to mention, I can kind of understand with Steve's like own delirium, because, you know, we drove like 6 hours just to get there from SoCal to the Bay Area. But that being said, that's the mystery of the bloody towel at FanimeCon 2002. And I wouldn't say it's the reason why I haven't been back to FanimeCon. It's just, it was one of those things where it just wasn't convenient to go. That being said, now that I live up in the Bay Area, I still haven't gone to FanimeCon. Even though I do want to go. The irony is that I did go to a convention this year, but it was all the way back in Southern California. And out of all places it was in, it was at a mall in an abandoned Nordstrom's, which was kind of cool in a way. But that was interesting. But it was also an excuse to hang out with Linty, so there was that. But I'm hoping maybe I'll be able to go to Fanime next year. That's it. 2027, Keely returns to Fanime. We need to think of a group outfit. That would be funny. I would like to go because I haven't gone in so long. At least this time, there won't be, tons of people rooming in one room, and hopefully no bloody towel incidents. At least one hopes. So yeah, watch your personal belongings, especially towels. And I don't think we need the trigger warning anymore. Can I unpin this? Yes. There we go. Hi, Bull. This feels funky. I don't like it. I always had two friends that I had with it for a long time. I had some fun cosplay groups. That's always fun. Generally, it's just been like Lindsay and I. Sometimes Mako. Mako's kind of off the hook at the moment. They'd rather just do convention stuff. Sometimes I can't blame them, but I like the challenge of making a costume. Unfortunately, it's now like a little more difficult to get fabric since our dearly departed Joanne's. Though Michael's is starting to like actually carry better fabrics now. This yellow yarn is not liking me right now. It's getting a little splitty. I totally recognize that era. I totally recognize that era, for sure. Such innocent times they were. I miss those days. Hold on. I think I'm fine. Anime cons were like a different vibe in the late 90s, early 2000s. I think that's awesome when you have something that people recognize. I think one of my problems with like current cosplay, because anime and cosplay is so popular now compared to like when we were all doing that in earlier days. Things like the costumes themselves have become very easily accessible because you can just like buy them online. Whereas before, you either had to like know somebody who could tailor or just know how to make a costume yourself. So unfortunately, cosplay has become a bit of like fast fashion as of late, and I feel like people don't, especially like with the latest generation of cosplayers, they don't appreciate. Um, Thank you, Mako. Thank you for the resub. They don't appreciate, a series as long when they like first come out. They just jump on the next thing, the next newest thing that comes out. So like I remember somebody saying, like, winning, like, we'll take like Encanto because this was like the subject matter. Somebody said like Encanto had just been out for a month, and somebody literally posted, is it too late for me to cosplay Encanto now? And it's like, what the fuck? It's only been out for like a month. So yeah, um, people need to like appreciate stuff a little bit more and stop treating anime and cosplay as like fast fashion. That's just me getting on my like old person soapbox. Old man yelling at clouds. It's so, as somebody who's been to Japan, cosplay is so different there. Like I've gone there like a couple times for Halloween, and I still see people dressing up as characters from like Urasi Yatsura. I mean, obviously Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon's always gonna be like cosplayed, even like here. But to see people like cosplaying from stuff from like the 80s and 90s, like even like original like Gundam from the 70s, people still do that here in like Japan. But I feel like people here just don't take the time to appreciate some of like the older series. It's just got to be, I gotta get whatever's new, you know. That was so 30 days ago. Get with the time. And that's just what it comes down to. Gotta step back and appreciate the classics. And that could be why we're seeing like this uptick of 90s anime being remade, because we have the new Ghost in the Shell series that's out. There's like new Ranma one half. I mean, we several years ago we had the new Sailor Moon, Cardcaptor Sakura, but like this year especially, we have like a bunch of 90s anime coming out. Like we have new Magical Knights Ray Earth. They announced a new Gundam Wing. So yeah, that could be another reason why we're seeing this like big resurgence. It's just like, hey kids, start appreciating the classics. Yeah, that was not on my bingo card. Yeah. Like for me especially, I've been taking the time to like watch some like older series that I've never had the chance to like watch or fully appreciate. Like I just finished watching Cyber City Oedo. Um, and that came out in 1990. I was just a wee child back then. And so that was definitely not going to be in the I'm not going to be watching that at such a early age. So the fact that I was able to like sit down as an adult and appreciate it. I've been watching The Familiar of Zero, which is kind of old by my standards. I'm not familiar with that one. Hold on one second. The Familiar of Zero. I mean, yeah, that came out in 2007. The manga came out in like 97, so it's a little bit, you know, it's over 20 years old. Well, but I mean, for me, like what I'm talking about is like, hi Grumpy Fortune Cat. Um People who think like something that's been out for like a year and they're suddenly thinking it's like ancient, that sort of thing, you know. But I also like, I kind of want people to appreciate things that I do not understand. Yeah, exactly. I want people to appreciate things that, you know, are even older, because sometimes they're missing out on some good stuff. They're missing out on some really good stuff. Granted, there are some series that have some questionable stuff, very questionable, because unfortunately it was a different time. But at the same time, people still appreciate old Looney Tunes. And old Looney Tunes had some questionable stuff. So you kind of have to just go, okay, we, you know, we don't believe in stuff like this now. We're just gonna move past it. Some, you know, mannerisms in wording that has not aged well. And it's like, well, that's definitely not going to get past the censors in this day of age. I've been enjoying the new Ghost in the Shell. Such a good throw. But yeah, I need to watch it. I really need to watch it, because I do like, um, I do like that they're going with the actual like Shiro style. You know, it's actually based off of Shiro's mangas. Um, and it's like, I actually kind of argued with somebody on Twitter not too long ago, because they were just like, I don't like how they make the major like super goofy. And I said, well, this is literally the major. This is how the major is portrayed in the manga. And if like the only time we other time we ever saw her like that was in the PlayStation 1 game. Uh, the movie and standalone complex, they're great. Don't get me wrong, they're great, but they portray the major kind just like super serious, whereas in the actual like Shiro manga, she's goofy as hell, and she, you know, she's really funny. But I kind of got into an argument with this person because I said, no, this is based off of Shiro's actual like manga. This is how she is. And their answer was, well, I don't read the mangas. And I'm just like, okay, that's your opinion, I guess, but this is how she is. And like the movie and standalone complex are their own thing. But this is the actual like Shiro work. But I don't know. Some people get really testy, I guess. I still love Pepe Le Pew. Got a cool art print on my wall. So yeah, I mean, I always found Pepe Le Pew to be a funny character, but when you think about the context nowadays, you're like, oh, Pepe's a little touchy. Pepe Le Pew needs to think about consent, you know? It's just, I mean, there's still questionable things being made today. Yeah, there is. It's not to say that they still don't exist. But you know, it is what it is. Certain portrayals in Persona 5 and even yeah, exactly. And you know, speaking of Persona, we definitely noticed in Reload they definitely changed some stuff to fit newer times. If for some reason they decided to redo Persona 5, I don't know why they would need to right now, but they would probably make some changes involving a certain scene. We'll see. Let's hope that they're not going to do Persona 5, you know, renewal in a very long time. It's not for Persona 6, it's for Persona 5 Green. I kind of see both sides because I'm guilty of liking the anime version over manga version on certain things. Like, I prefer Full Metal Alchemist Non-Brotherhood version. Yeah, you know, granted, there's nothing wrong with that, but, you know, when you have to explain, hey, this is how it is, this is how she is in the manga, which is, I'm not saying, you know, the manga is law kind of thing, but I just kind of want to inform you that this is how she really is portrayed. Like, I'm gonna say I wanted to watch Fruits Baskets, like the original version, and so many of my friends were like, don't watch that version, don't whatever you do, don't watch it, because it was not at all like based off of the manga, and so I didn't. And then there's like a new version that's actually like based off the manga that I have yet to actually watch. Because I just haven't gotten around to it. But it kind of sucks because I kind of wanted to watch the original, but so many people were just like, no, don't do that because it sucks. I mean, I get liking the anime over the manga, but just tossing the real source materials aside is different. Yes, that I can also agree to too. I can definitely agree to that. The thing is, I never watched Brotherhood. I never actually watched Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I only ever watched the one that was like so popular for many, many years, because it was on Cartoon Network. And it was just on and I wanted to watch it, you know? How many different Batman cartoons have there been? People need to just enjoy the versions they like and don't have to tell others what not to. Yeah, exactly. I will admit I love the original Batman animated series. I enjoyed that one. I grew up on it. It was great. I haven't watched it other than, what was that one that came out in late 90s? Was it Batman? Not Begins. It was the futuristic one. I'm like drawing a blank. Yes, thank you. I did enjoy that one too. But I haven't watched like a Batman series since then. Thank you. Yeah, Batman Beyond. Yeah, it was a really good one. I can remember the main character's name. I was like, I know his name was Terry. I know his name was Terry. He was that high school kid that had like Bruce Wayne like coaching him because Bruce Wayne was like super old. Give me one moment. I need to get more yarn. Just a second. I still have my microphone though. I mean, that being said, I've watched. I used to watch the original Batman. I mean, I watched the movies, but I also watched the OG one with Adam West because it was on TV as a kid, and I enjoyed watching them. I was a bit of a Batman fan. There we go. Loved Adam West. They had marathons every year on Nick during New Year's. Did they? I think when Nick at Night would come on, I would always like tune out because I'm like, it's not cartoons. Not cartoons. I think the crazy thing is now sitcoms that I grew up on are now part of Nick at Night. Hi Adelchi, how you doing? Let's go, 3 stream streak. Got my account back so much better. I am so glad to hear that. I am so glad to hear that. I heard I saw that your account got hacked, and then also Joe Cat's Discord account got hacked. Like, hackers are hungry for Discord accounts. Yeah. Mr. Beast can't be stopped. Yeah, his Discord, Adelchi's Discord account got compromised too. %80 of your server, damn. Yeah, there's an Animal Crossing server I'm on. There was one day that it got hacked, and it got hacked hard. Like, all of a sudden we just started seeing all the rooms, all the chat rooms just suddenly vanishing. Or the hell's going on? And then all these weird messages started popping up. Such a weird decision. Yeah. I think they started turning into special adult sites. Oh, yeah, no problem, no problem. I know losing your account like that sucks. Actually, I'm gonna start this over. Give me a second. I don't like this. We're starting over. stream is good. How are things with you? We're just vibing. We were unboxing some figurines. And now we're just doing some crocheting. Moving into... Oh, God, I hate moving. I wish you so much luck with your move. That's the way you gotta do it. Let somebody else break their back. Let them break their backs for you. That's their job, yep. Yeah, when we moved upstate almost 3 years ago. It's been about 2.5 years ago. We hired some movers. So I was just like, there is no way. There's no way I'm moving this stuff by ourselves. Now we're dealing with stuff like, now that we're moved, so I live in a house that's like nearing a century. It was built in the 30s. And our garage is kind of leaning. It is leaning, and it shouldn't be leaning, and the walls are starting to crack because of it. So we have to hire some people to deal with it. Also, we were in the garage last week because I was looking for something, and we noticed that the pavement, it actually doesn't have a foundation. Because according to Mako's mom, they're like, when they built this house, they were like, oh, well, only the house needs a foundation. The garage doesn't need one. So the pavement that the garage is on is also, it's not just cracked, it is going up like this. Like, it is literally buckling up. So we have to like hire a contractor and be like, well, what do we do? And I have a feeling that they're going to have to be like, yeah, the whole garage is going to have to come down and be rebuilt. Hopefully not, but I just have that sinking feeling. Yeah, it is incredibly expensive. No, you're right. New houses definitely have their problems too. We had we lived in a newer house at one point in Arizona. Um it was only a couple years old. Um and a pipe burst in the wall. And we were at the time, why is this, wait, I swear to God I can't count. I'm on the third row and I keep thinking I'm on the second while I'm having this conversation. Yeah, we had the pipe. It was a really big house. And we were actually like renting out like the basement part of it because the basement was like it's kind of its own apartment kind of thing. So a pipe burst in the wall and all the water was coming into our bedroom. And the water was coming from the laundry room up above us. So a plumber had to come in and tear a hole in the wall to fix the pipe. But by then, the damage was already done. It was really weird too because I remember like the night before, I kept hearing what sounded like water dripping, but like you don't really like put two and two together. We're just like, huh. I just kept hearing this sound like water dripping onto like a puddle, but you really don't think about it. And then Mako got up and discovered the carpet was completely soaked. So they called a plumber and discovered that the pipe above, which was part of the laundry room, had burst and was basically cascading water into our bedroom down below. So they had to rip out the wall in there, rip out the wall in the garage, rip out the wall. We had two garages, so only one garage was compromised. And then rip out the wall in the bedroom because obviously, if you don't, um, mold starts to develop on the interior side of the wall. So they had to do that, run the not humidifiers, dehumidifiers to just air out everything. But yeah, we didn't have like a bedroom for like a month. Yeah, it was really crazy. We had this like curse that followed us for it kind of just like followed us for several years where we would like experience like some form of water damage for some reason. Water damage just loved us for some reason. Because that wasn't like our first incident with that type of situation. Should have called home safety hotline. Yes. I agree. How you doing, Lurker? I will definitely make note of it if I get weird water damage sprites coming into my house again. Hey Phelan, how you doing? I'm calling the home safety hotline. You're doing okay? I'm glad to hear that. I'm doing okay myself. I was just talking about weird house flooding that happened to me. We were also unboxing Pretty Boys earlier. Did the game ever show what a hob looked like? I don't know if we got to the hob. I definitely got to go back. Okay. We're currently making the little feathers. Trying to see where the center pole is here. That's not it. Uh-oh. Nope, that's not it. I'm gonna have to do it this way. I have been denied the center pole. I need to get one of those like little spindle things that people put their yarn cakes on. I know you can 3D print them too. Problem is our 3D printer isn't hooked at the moment. Yeah, the filament can get pretty expensive. It's great if like I think it's a nice hobby if you're somebody who has like a use for it. Like if you do like 3D printing models for not for like crappy toys, fidget toys and stuff, like I'm sorry, there's people who who've overdone those and just fill anime cons and like street fairs and markets with their 3D printed slop. Y'all kind of suck. But people who use it to make like, you know, like useful gadgets, for instance. Instructions unclear, more cheap dragons. Or like, don't get me wrong, I think like there's nothing wrong with making a cool like fidget gadget, but it's the people that like overconsume and overly distribute them. That's like the big problem. And from what I understand too, is the original model of that particular dragon wasn't a free model either. Somebody just did the shitty thing and passed it along for free. So now like everybody and their mom can get a hold of that model and 3D print it. But like that being said, if like you're making like neat gadgets and stuff with that, it's, you know, I don't think it's an issue. Or it's also like very useful for people that like, you know, like costume design for like cosplay and stuff, like people who use it to make armor. That's also pretty cool. But I sometimes categorize it in the same category with like people who just use it in the same concept of like AI or custom D&D minis or something. Yeah, exactly. Those are all like fantastic things to use it for. Hold on, I don't like was. No, I guess it was fine. I don't think I have a true need for it, just thought it would be cool to have. Sure. Like, if you find reason to have it and not just be like, I'm gonna like make a bunch of dragons to try to sell them at a like at a Ren fair. That's where it's kind of the problem. But if you find a need where you're just like, I have like so and so project that could really like, you know, use a 3D printer for. Hi, Nextgree! Good to see you. Thank you. Why do I get the feeling if I had a 3D printer, I'd just make things to put in my yard just to piss off the HOA? You know what? I'm all for pissing off the HOA. Hi, Usagi. Can we get a shout out for Nextgree, please? You know what? I'm all for supporting like pissing off the HOA. That same house that had, yeah, exactly. That same house that had the pipe burst was under HOA ruling, and God forbid your like grass, your lawn was like this much like overgrown. always just like had to have their noses in your business. I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing? Get a shout out too. I'm like half distracted by conversations that I'm like forgetting where where I am on my crochet project. I'm sick, lost my voice. Oh no! Oh, that's awful. Did you stream at all? Did you do like a mute stream, or are you taking a break? Did you check under the sofa? I think if I was in that position, I would probably still stream, but it would have to be like a muted stream. No stream since 2 Mondays ago. Oh man. Hopefully you'll get your voice back soon. And I hope you feel better. This is why I hate working in tiny magic rings. We're making a chocobo. I was also unboxing Pretty Boy figures, which I can show again. I was, let's see, reach up here, do this carefully. We were unboxing Sebastian from the, oh, come over here. Sorry, it's hard to like phone. Where, okay, there we go. Sebastian from Black Butler, from the School Arc series, where he's CL's teacher, tutor. I need to watch the rest of that series. I've just been like kind of half distracted by One Piece at the moment. That has been the workout anime of choice, but also that was because that was the the Donathon end goal, that I had to watch all 1100 episodes of One Piece. So yeah, I need to get back to watching that. Then my friend, well, I got the Sebastian one for my birthday. Oh man, my friend loves Black Butler. It's good. It's really good. I also play Yana Toboso's other work. She created Twisted Wonderland, which is the mobile gacha game where she was basically like, hey, what if we take Disney villains and made them into pretty men? So I play that as well. The main, like, basically the cover child, the main character of he's not really the main character, but he's just definitely like the cover character for the game. Malleus, he definitely looks a lot like Sebastian. That he's based off of Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty. So but he definitely has the Sebastian qualities about him. And then my friend, for my birthday, she got me off my throne Nahobino from SMT5. So I was putting them together. I figure it was a good excuse to get these out of the boxes, show them off on stream. I still need to play SMT5. Definitely. Have you played Nocturne? Nocturne's like one of my favorite games. It's not quite as crazy as Nocturne with the liminal spaces, but I still think it's a fantastic game. I still need to play through Vengeance. And not yet, it's on my definitely play Nocturne. Nocturne's so good. It's also the one where it's like starring Dante from Devil May Cry. And Knuckles. And thank you. I got them done a couple weeks ago. Probably next week I might change the color on them. Either next week or the week after. I just found out the owner of Spencer's has bought out. Yeah, I did hear about that. Are they buying out Torrid too? Only mainline one I played is 4, and that was hard as balls. It is definitely hard. I managed to find the rest of my SMT games for the 3DS. Which ones did I find? Hold on one second. We're getting so much crochet done. So, let me scoot. I need to scoot forward. My desk chair doesn't like my carpet for some reason. So Devs of Star Citizen had a live stream recently that was an utter trash fire. How so? Was supposed to be the usual talk about upcoming updates and more stable build of one of their missions, ended up with constant sniping between the devs and the lead walking off the stage going, "It's your show, wrap it up." Oh. Are we gonna witness a are we gonna witness a game developer breakup? So, I got into my box that had like all the DS games. So, anybody remember Trauma Center? That is an Atlas title. Trauma Center. I still have flashbacks to that last mission. I can't remember how far. I think I got to like the mission where you had to like I think you were trying to clear up gallstones or something. I can't remember, but I just remember it being painfully hard and I couldn't beat it. So I got Trauma Center. I have Apocalypse, SMT for Apocalypse, Devil Survivor 1, and Devil Survivor 2 hasn't even been unwrapped. So I got that. Hi, Snowfall. And here's my 3DS, by the way. And So I have that, and then I have. God, I haven't used a 3DS in so long. I'm like, where's my game? And then I have SMT4 in here. It was so crazy that I said screw it and using 2 styluses. Every scratch on my DS came from completing the emergency missions on that game. I think Trauma Center was the main culprit of many DS scratches. I don't think I have anything. I don't have any other SMT games in here. No. I do not. So yeah, we got a hold of like all my SMT games. The only one I'm missing, I was hoping that we had it. Because I keep hearing about how good like A Strange Journey is. And I was like, do we have A Strange Journey? I feel like maybe we have it. It was just one of those things where like Mako would like see an SMT game and try to buy it, like always like buy it for me, but sometimes I would just like get overwhelmed and like forget what SMT games I have. So but unfortunately Strange Journey is not in our collection right now. And I need to get Strange Journey because I keep hearing how good it is. I also hear how good 4 is, which I need to really like sit down and play it. I'm just so bad with playing a lot of games on my 3DS. Usually it comes down to me generally playing them when I'm like traveling somewhere. What did I just knock over? Oh. I guess I just don't have like the withstanding to just like sit on the couch and play a portable game right now. Anyways, I'm all over the place tonight. I'm definitely all over the place. See, I had the foresight to put a screen protector before I played it. I tried to use a screen protector one time on the DS, and I could not, for the life of me, get my stylus to work. Maybe I had the wrong brand of a screen protector, but I don't know. It just would not work for me. So I think my DS just ended up having to deal with the abuse. I'm sure if we dug up my DS, it would look very horrendous. My 3DS, thankfully, isn't too badly off. Atlas would make bank if they made mobile ports of the Trauma Center games. I agree. The only version I didn't play was the Wii version. I couldn't imagine how difficult the Wii version would be. Second Opinion or New Blood? I don't know. I don't know what the Wii version was called. I think Second Opinion came out on the DS. Yo, 2 years and 20 days, damn. Yeah, I didn't play either of them. I didn't play any of the Wii versions. I think the last game I ever played on the Wii was Kirby's Epic Yarn. This grass feels funny. It feels like pants. This feather is never going to get finished. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Kirby's Epic Yarn was the last Wii game I ever played. You're gonna go hide, but there's no closets here. I mean, unless you want to go to a changing room in one of the clothing stores, but we're in an arcade. It's going okay. How are you, Bull? Although technically we could be in the food court. Crocheting in the food court. Speaking of Kirby, I don't envy Sakurai in the slightest for having to deal with the Smash Bros. Fandom. You know, I don't know a lot about the Smash Brothers fandom. And I'm kind of afraid. Saw Joe Cat's got mateship for cat socks. Wow. Okay. Oh, okay. I don't know why this one's giving me so much trouble. DuckDuckGo started selling sunglasses. Not like Meta sunglasses, just sunglasses. You know, sometimes you just need a simple pair of sunglasses. As long as they don't cost you, like, next month's rent. Okay, I think I got this in a position that I actually like. So I finally maxed out Deepwater Nights. I got the sword and shield. The pain nail guards dropped to +7 by the time I was done. I need to figure out. You reminded me because I started on that. I need to figure out how to sneak into pain nail. Because there's like some dude in the cleric hall that you can kill like twice and get maxed out with Deepwater Nights. If anybody is associated with pain nail, please hook me up so I can sneak in. Yeah, that's what I was doing before stream. I was collecting teeth. I was collecting teeths. I was also sorry, itchy. I finally got a Vox and Nagy kill. Now that I know how the whole system works, just for the dragons, and that there's like the whole solo instance for it, because I'm dumb. I am so dumb. I didn't realize that there was like a voidling that just hangs out outside the instance or outside the dragon's domain. Until I actually did a raid yesterday for both. No, I did Nagy, Vox, and Yale. We did +4 Yale. That, I think we only had like 5 people. And we did +4 Yale. That took so long. That took so long. But we did 2 runs. 2? Yeah, we did 2 runs of Nagy, and I not only did I get like 1 cloak of flames, I got 3. I'm just like, hell yeah. So I got the book. I got the Book of Flames from Nagy, but I didn't get the one from Vox. So definitely gonna have to go back for that. But I was getting really irritated with this person yesterday because they were locked out of the instances and kept insisting that no, I can go in. The lockout timer means nothing to me. I can go in, and it's like, dude, you're locked out. You can't be in the group. You're locked out on every single one. But and he's like, let me try, and he finally tries, and he's like, well, good luck, guys, and he finally left. But the fact that he just kept angrily insisting that he could go in with the lockout timers was, I was ready to throttle him. Eh. Hi, Linty. Thank you. But it was just like, seriously, what part of your locked out are you not comprehending? The timer is not gonna magically let you in because you said so. Oh, speaking of Malleus, there he is. His horns have a lockdown timer. Damn, things are getting crazy with Leon. No. I was talking about before you came in. Oh, cause I was unboxing figures before you came in. And I was talking about hold on. Let me get him. I was talking about Sebastian because I got a new Sebastian figure, and I was explaining about Yana Toposo making Twisted Wonderland and how Malleus and Sebastian look ironically the same because of that. And I was like, oh, speaking of Malleus, there he is. They're the same picture, so true. They are indeed. But no, the timer. Ironically, yeah. Now that I talk about, I was talking about dragons. I wasn't talking about the Twink dragon. I was talking about EverQuest dragons. But yes, I think servers reset. Oh yeah, we got like an update coming tomorrow. Got like a big update tomorrow. Actually, a lot of games that I play are updating tomorrow with big updates. Yes, tomorrow is patch day. We're getting the Mistmore Castle revamp. Of course, I've like out leveled it, but there might be some gear that might be worth getting. I don't know. Might check it out, or I'll do a loadout. Tomorrow's update. I feel a disturbance in the force. Like several 100,000 medic chasers cried out once and were suddenly silenced. Yes. Yeah. So we get a new zone revamp, which is Mistmore Castle. They're fixing some UI scaling, the cursor, especially. Oh god, the cursor. That's been like my major issue. Is the cursor is so tiny on my end, I can barely see it. So I'm glad I'll be able to like fix that. They're also fixing some bugs. So apparently, like, there was like a bug where if you got feared in Plane of Fear or Charmed, it hit you so hard you would not be able to like log into the game for like 24 hours. Just EQ things. Bug or feature, yes. That's getting fixed, yeah. Grouping's gonna give you an EXP bonus as intended. Fix an issue where raid invites will fail in certain circumstances. Non-attackable NPCs can no longer multi-class. Damn, NPCs, like, non-attackable NPCs were multi-classing. That's pretty funny. Address an issue where NPC corpses would continue walking even after they died. Restored the original classic two-handed blunt animations to the game. Is that the one where they just like would poke? They would kind of do that little pokey thing, or that was no? I don't think so. I think that was with like if you had like a pole arm of some sort. You will no longer gain skill ups from skills you haven't used when reposting. Still no word on Karen animation updates. Fix for players getting charmed and then shrunk by the pet scaling option in game. Addressed an issue where NPCs would continue attacking each other after charm fades. That's kind of funny. Fixed a bug where cleave wasn't working with one-handed blunt weapons. Updated the message that appear while being stunned to clarify that you are now immune and that you are currently immune on subsequent hits. Fixed an issue where zone-specific music tracks would skip over music tracks if environmental sounds were disabled. Fixed an issue where music would need to completely come to a stop before being able to resume the same track. The same tracks will now be able to resume the same sequence without having to fully have the track come to a stop. Still, there's, you know, the little things. Little things. Spells and double A's. Targeted area effect lull spells such as Harmony can now take effect on NPCs you have not engaged in combat. Mounts that are obtained from double A's will now only grant the mount speed when you are a valid class for using that double A. Fixed an issue where a long 5 to 10 second recovery cooldown would fire if you use the stop action keybind with a bard as one of your classes. Making holy and unholy steed items is a freaking godsend. I'm just glad to have a mount, man. Getting through the Karanas on foot is... it's a trek. Fix an issue where range checks on contact procs like Vampire Embrace would not work properly on NPCs with large hitboxes. The Life Spike spell has been moved from level 8 to level 5 for Shadow Knights. A new Life Tap spell, Life Bite, has been added to at level 10 for Shadow Knights and level 8 for Necromancers. This new spell has been added to the auto grant list for both classes and to the appropriate spell vendors. Zones in population. The wasps/bees of the plain and sky have seen that their stingers filed down while charmed. They don't sting as hard. The wasp/bee in plain of sky, known as murder bee, should be a bit easier to exterminate in solo instances. I guess murder bees were were doing as they were named. Shimmering meteors have also had their damage tuned downwards while charmed. Snow no longer overwrites the zone's precipitation style, preventing rain from falling. Praise Corona! Damn, those murder hornets were everywhere. Rain is no longer too small to see. Oh, that's kind of nice. I was kind of noticing it was kind of difficult to see the rain. I was like, man, I remember rain being more visible than this. Many wild animals should now be friendly towards Karen, similar to how they react to rangers and druids. Monsters should no longer try to patrol through the walls and run. That's a big eye. That is a big one. Big eye. Big one. If you remember, like, those of you who were here, like, during the closed beta, and I was just getting murdered in Runny Eye because of those patrols. And those patrols were just a monster. Sepla Chanel Blade Blight in the Ocean of Tears now has a considerably shorter respawn timer. Fix an issue where high-level named monsters in Kedge Keep were taking an excessively long time to respawn. Non-raid boss NPCs are now restricted from casting Charm if they already have a pet. And some quests. The Soldier's Brooch quest in Wraith Mountains will now allow the players to choose their reward. Updated the Torrid Corruptor final turn-in to properly grant the quest completion title to some players that do not meet the lore requirements of the quest. Players are now given the corresponding potential of the Void task when they enter a raid instance. Upon entering a raid instance, all other potential of the Void tasks are removed from the task list. Corrected an issue that allowed player illusions to be used as pet illusions. I was wondering how people were doing that. As a result of this change, we have added a conversion button to Guise of the Deceiver and Amulet of the Necropentance that allows these items to be turned into a pet illusion version. Blood Moon now has the focus effect improved Vampirism 3. Fix an issue preventing ornamentation tokens from working when created from cloth armor. Copper Band now has +1 AC. The Unholy Steed, Holy Steed, Abyssal Steed, and Valiant Steed in AAs will now summon bridles, which can be used to summon the mount instead of directly summoning the mount. Okay. Fixed an issue where various item animations such as whips and bows were not animating on attack. Player pets are now prevented from equipping secondary-only items when they utilize a two-hander in their primary hand. So, big update. Definitely big update. Okay. We're finally done with the head feathers. This is all we've gotten done today was feathers. Well, I guess it's something. It is something. I think that's generally how they're supposed to go. We'll figure it out when we need to sew everything together. I think the last time we did this, we were pretty much like sewing like the face and the beak and stuff like that. That being said, it is pretty much time for us to skedaddle. Pretty much. Got a few more minutes. At least I got those figures out. I got those out. Yes. Anyways, we're gonna move. A good excuse for me to turn off this ring light. Having this light in my eyes after a while starts to get to me a little bit. That's fine. Anyways. Yes, of course. Of course. Thank you all for being here, as always. I greatly appreciate it. It always means so much to me for you all to hang out with me. As always, we'll be back tomorrow. So if you are new to my stream, hello and welcome. I stream throughout the week, but you can check out my schedule. I post a new schedule every Sunday with what we are doing throughout the week. Also, it's a fun schedule to check out if you're super into like old Adult Swim, the old Adult Swim stingers or ads, or how they would do the schedule. I do it in that format, and they're different every week. They're a little different every week, so they're fun to check out. That being said, we're gonna go raid out. I'm gonna hide in the mall until after closing. What are you gonna do then? Go steal ice cream from the Foster Freeze. Don't do that. I want that. After closing is when the mannequins come out to play. Yeah, exactly. This isn't the back rooms. Maybe. There's no back rooms here. It's okay as long as they're sexy mannequins. Well, can't judge you for that. I cannot judge you for that. But yeah, we're gonna go read out. I can and will. Anyways, let's see who we have. Choices, choices, choices. I think we're gonna go say hi to Tired Peachy. They're playing some Final Fantasy 14. So we're gonna go give them a hello. Anyways, here is your raid message. Let's give a Tired Peachy our love. Anyways, I will see you all tomorrow. We're gonna play more Chrono Trigger. I don't know how far we are into the game. I probably have another couple weeks of gameplay with it. So yeah, we're gonna be playing more Chrono Trigger. Wednesday we'll play some EQ Legends. Might kill some dragons. We shall see. But in the meantime, there's that. But there is your raid message. Have a good night, everybody. I will see you then. But for now, unfortunately, the arcade is now closed. Have a good night, everybody.